Hey everyone, I'm Ebonie, and this is Overkill Review's Banger's weekly metal review show. If I look familiar to you, you might know me as Metal and Coffee. I'm a metalhead based in Philly, and I do album reviews on my own platform, plus monthly top fives, usually served with a pretty solid stink face. My taste ranges from the Black Dahlia Murder and Opeth to Soul Glow and Aranti Pazuzu, so I get around. I've also done guest reviews for The Needle Drop, aka Anthony Fantano, which was a blast. And now here I am on BangerTV, a channel I've been watching forever, feeling both honored and inspired. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into this review. This week, I'm reviewing the highly anticipated album by Whitechapel, Hymns and Dissonance. This is their 9th studio album released on Metal Blade, and it dropped March 7. Whitechapel needs no introduction, but for the uninitiated, they're a 6-piece deathcore band from Knoxville, Tennessee, formed in 2006. And they stand alongside Suicide Silence, All Shall Perish, and Despised Icon as pioneers of the genre's first wave. The core lineup has remained pretty solid, with vocalist Phil Bozeman, guitarist Alex Wade, Ben Savage, and Zach Householder, plus bassist Gabe Crisp. The drummer Brandon Zaki is the newest addition, joining in 2022. And I'll be honest, despite being no stranger to death metal and deathcore, I didn't fully hop on the Whitechapel train until 2019's The Valley. I know, roast me if you must, but that album destroyed my heart, largely due to Bozeman's raw, personal lyricism. And 2021's Kin kept that emotional weight alive, and I loved it. But don't worry, I've explored their entire repertoire since then, and I'm very well aware that Whitechapel is known for their sheer brutality, and Hymns and Dissonance marks a full circle moment for the band. This is them returning to their roots, and I'm talking all the way back to the somatic defilement, all while bringing everything they've learned along the way. Let's get into it. So like many Whitechapel albums, Hymns and Dissonance is a concept record, this time a sequel to 2008's This Is Exile. It follows a cult leader, illustrated on the album cover, recruiting only the most wicked and worthy followers for his cult. Each track is framed as an evil hymn, with tracks 3 through 10 representing the 7 deadly sins.
There are 7 deadly sins: gluttony, greed, pride, sloth, wrath, lust, and envy.
So can we take a moment to appreciate how ridiculously thoughtful this is? It instantly reminded me of that movie Seven, one of my favorite psychological thrillers. That what's in the box scene?
Oh, what's in the box?
Absolutely gut-wrenching.
What's in the fucking box?
Whitechapel's consistency in storytelling is one of my favorite things about them, and this record feels especially cinematic and theatrical, like a horror film brought to life through sound. Hearing the composition of each sin is incredibly creative. Take their first single, Visceral Wretch. It delivers pure cannibalisque terror through the amazing guitar work and the guttural retching, the perfect disgusting cherry on top. like I said before, this is definitely a return to roots moment. The album opener, Prisoner 666, lays the groundwork with one of the best grooves on the record. I was getting the Sala is the Law vibes on this one. This song is dynamic as hell. A vocal variety of highs and lows, fast shredding solos, insane drumming, and a breakdown that just hits. Another standout track, Diabolic Slumber, taps into the deadly sin sloth.
Have you ever seen anything like this? No.
This track has been rotting in my brain in a good way due to how willingly disjointed it is. This is very much core Whitechapel, and I love a good moment of communal anger. So when Bozeman yells, "Fuck them all, let them die," I feel like that's the moment where I would have been successfully recruited into this satanic cult.
What's in the fucking box?
Don't get me wrong, I love relentless heaviness as much as the next deathcore fan. But somewhere in the middle of the album, I was starting to wonder how much of this is actually sticking. I know this is nitpicky, bear with me. The sheer brutality is undeniable, I promise, but the slight lack of melody here and there makes some tracks less memorable than others. I know this is super nitpicky. I can already hear the keyboard warriors right now. But I have to say, I experienced a slight case of fear fatigue. Basically, when some tracks start to blend together. But then again, maybe that's the point. Maybe Whitechapel wants you to feel trapped in this chaos. I also wonder how many songs here truly stand on their own. Most of the album absolutely slaps, but tracks like Hate Cult Ritual and Visceral Wretch left a stronger impression when I experienced them within a full album rather than on their own. Regardless, I would love to see this entire album performed live. For an album this unrelenting, Whitechapel still finds ways to sprinkle in some haunting beauty, which, in my opinion, is that newer aspect of the band they're keeping despite their return to brutality, especially through their guitar solos. Tracks like Prisoner 666, Hate Ritual, Hate Cult Ritual, Mammoth God, and Nothing Is Coming for Any of Us all feature the stunning flashes of color. And that final track in particular, a very sick showcase of the progressive technical skill. It's the longest song on the record, clocking in at 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and the ending is gorgeous in the most eerie, inevitable way, like a slow acceptance of doom. Whitechapel starts strong and ends strong on this record, which I truly appreciate.
What's in the fucking box?
With Whitechapel's return to their 2006-2010 era, I can't help but wonder how the newer fans are going to feel. This album features 0 clean vocals, and honestly, I kind of miss them. I miss the ballads. I missed some of the stripped down acoustic moments, and I can't help it. I love being hit with dark vulnerability and raw emotion, but at the same time, I get it. The Valley and Kin were outliers. Hymns and Dissonance is Whitechapel doing what they do best, and I respect that. And I just love this brutal ass record. Hymns and Dissonance is a brutal, horror-fueled return to Whitechapel's roots, and it absolutely delivers on intensity. The concept is brilliantly executed, the storytelling is sharp, and the instrumentation is punishing as ever. Tracks like Prisoner 666 and Visceral Wretch showcase the band at their most vicious, and the sheer weight of this album is just undeniable. And the track Nothing Is Coming for Any of Us reminds us of how far Whitechapel has come as musicians. That said, the relentless fury can lead to moments blending together, and I can't help but miss some of the clean vocals. But we aren't in that era anymore. And is this record the most brutal record for Whitechapel to date? To be honest, I think it might be, especially compared to This Is Exile. There are so many textures on this record that contribute to the brutal volume of it all. And the slight detour from deathcore on their last 2 albums may have fueled their heaviest record yet. So I'm going to give this album a 4.5 out of 5 skulls. I have a couple shout outs since we are already deep in 2025 with some really great releases. starting with Sun Ra and their EP, Passages. Now, Sun Ra is one of my best kept secrets. They aren't deathcore, but that doesn't stop them from completely obliterating your psyche. They're so good in immersing you in this atmosphere of doom, sludge, and pain. And this new EP, Passages, features tracks that didn't make it on their last LP, The Unfailing Rope, which I love, so it's no surprise that I love this EP. Next shout out goes to yet another sludge band. Is it obvious that I love sludge? Anyway, this band 16 released a new record called Guides for the Misguided. These guys have been around since the early 90s, and this is their 10th studio album, and I absolutely love it, and I highly recommend it. That's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, whether you agree with me or not. Let's chat in the comments. Until then, see you later, metalheads.